Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to dip our toe into the in-depth readings for all of the people that have made it to the second round of Twin Flames connections. And I find it very funny because of course today's the day after Valentine's Day. And I have been reading all of the comments. Well, not all of them, but occasionally here and there I've been reading comments of what you guys have been putting for the Twin Flame 1, and all I have to say is thank you to everyone who actually watched it, thank you to everyone who listened closely to the video, and thank you to everyone that has been giving it all the love in the world, because we're here for that. Thank you. But then I love reading some of the comments, and all I can say is when I was writing the title for my video, I was like, I have a feeling that some people are going to misinterpret what I'm trying to go for in this video, but I don't think my brain was necessarily working, and to me, I was like, yeah, that's a good title, we'll just go for that. But I can't blame those people that thought I was trying to connect 17 members with Red Velvet members and see who has Twin Flame connections. Like, I'm not surprised. I did not pair anyone up. And then someone asked if Dino and Yeti had something, and I was like, I don't know. I really doubt it. You know, I'm not much of a shipper, so it's all those things that when I'm doing this, I just connect to the energy, and if it happens to be an idol, well, I'm not gonna sense it because I'm not looking for it. But anybody else, they probably do because they're looking for that anyway. You know, it's kind of like we get the cards out, we get our messages, and then we interpret it based on the knowledge that we have and based on the information that we have, which tends to be based on our own experiences and our own beliefs. So I can have this card in front of me and somebody else could interpret them differently because, again, it's our own interpretation. And then the cards work with us being like tarot readers, and then the cards that come out go based on how the energy works with us and everything. So if there's a message of transformation, there's a higher chance that with me, death will pop up and I will know for sure it's a transformation. But for somebody else, it could be the Tower that they consider transformation in the same level that I consider death transformation, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just kind of find it funny to see what people have to say about the video and their opinions and everything. You know, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. It's very funny when I clash heads with somebody else and I'm just like, pfft. Sorry, my Virgo moon comes out and I'm just like, these people. Anyway, I find it very funny because today we're going to start with the 8, and I find it very, very funny because I have a feeling that he's a type that likes to have everything very clear, very, you know, lay the cards on the table and say, this is what I think, and you can think whatever you want. So I find it very funny that I had to clarify all of that in this one. And I think this will probably be the only video I will do that in. So, hello everyone. So today we're just going to go a little bit more in depth with the 8. We're going to start with him because I'm very interested with the 3 people that came out in this one. And I will have put some Red Velvet members here, but since we got a lot of yeses with them, they're going to get their own video anyway. And with 17, I will split it in half. This half and then the other half. So we have a summary here, which I don't really remember because I will have to watch my video again. So I'm just going to look at this and be like, from what I kind of can see from the cards that we have here, we had a time for healing. So right now the 8 is focusing on himself and focusing on healing his own wounds, nurturing himself and taking care of himself. Probably trying to get rid of all this, what was I going to say? All of his thoughts or ideas that could be bothering him. And the 7 of Pentacles could be that he's taking his time, but the fruits of his labor are not out there yet. So he has not really ripped the rewards of everything he has worked on. So that's kind of like what I am seeing with the cards that we have right now. But we're going to go a little bit more in depth. And the question that we have now is, see the current energy of his Twin Flame. So what is the current energy? Like, what situation is Minghao's Twin Flame? So this is the current energy. I'm gonna put it right here. Let's see. I'm gonna put this. I'm debating how to set this up. So this is the current energy that the person has, or energy of the energy. And now we're gonna take out another card to see what is their true self, or what is the energy that they actually embody. I wanted one, but we'll take those two actually. So we have the current energy, that twin flame. I can't speak now. My brain is just kind of like, I hope that what I said earlier was not too bad. Anyway, let's center ourselves. So the current energy of the 8th twin flame is a frog. So that tells me that currently his other half is kind of going through a moment of crisis. Is currently going through a time of healing themselves as well. Which I find funny because I was reading the meaning of these cards, right? And one of the cards that I got was the frog. I was reading it, and it was basically saying, you know, it's time to kind of like rejuvenate, or going back to the water, because it's a water card as well. Going back to the water and healing yourself and trying to bring yourself back together, I guess, or trying to go back home, or what home is, or what home means. And I do have to clarify that with twin flames, D8 is alive, of course. He's human, an individual. His other half, or the other part of his energy, could potentially not be alive, if that makes sense. Someone could do a lot of healing in the spiritual sense without needing to have a physical body, as much as some people need a physical body to heal themselves as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe with D8, his twin flame or his other half may not be alive, and that could be the reason as to why he seems to not be searching for this person. It seems like that could be one of the reasons. The other thing that I'm getting is that there's a chance that D8's partner is someone that is doing the same thing that he's doing right now, because we got for him that in this lifetime his purpose was to just heal, and that's why we got this card. But it seems like his other half, which is a frog, is someone that is also doing that right now. So they're currently, and they say that usually with twin flames you kind of mirror each other, or what one person is doing the other one is doing, or feeling, or stuff like that, or you experience very similar things because you're connected like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if his partner is currently going through a period of healing as well. So if that's the case, they're definitely mirroring each other. And with this frog, it almost feels like it is someone that is trying to root themselves, because there's a little bit of red in like the feet of the frog, but there's also green. So that tells me that they have a lot of heart space healing that they have to do. So maybe forgiving themselves, or trying to do what they desire, try to nurture themselves. And seeing how this frog is very close to this Queen of Pentacles, it feels like nurturing themselves is the main priority for the 8th twin flame. But how their true self is, we have a turtle and a lizard. So if I'm correct, they're two reptiles. That could mean something. This tells me that this individual is someone that has a very strong exterior. Maybe they have the energy of someone that seems a little bit detached, or a little bit distant, or something along those lines. It feels like there's like this opposing view that people may have of this individual, because we have fire and water. So at some points they're very fiery on people's faces almost, and then the other points they're very internal. So I'm getting that they could be someone that internalizes a lot of the information they get, and a lot of the learning that they do it kind of like on their own, I feel. This frog tells me that it's frog. I said frog and I was looking at the turtle. So this turtle kind of tells me that it's definitely someone that is working with their heart space, and they're healing it, because that's where they are normally at. Like that's their comfort, not their comfort zone. That's like their true selves, working from what they deeply desire, coming from a nurturing place. That's usually their energy. So I wouldn't be surprised if right now, and being okay in being in this darkness, because a turtle is surrounded by the absence of light. So I wouldn't be surprised if right now this person or this individual is going through a period where they're trying to find themselves again. They're not necessarily far off of who they really are, but it seems like they're trying to immerse themselves in the difficulties of life, or immerse themselves in the hardships that they're going through, and internalizing them to learn. So it kind of feels like this is someone that is healing, but it could be internal wounds or pains that people will not be able to see at first glance. It feels like this is from the inside out, and it feels like it's like going after your desires and rooting that, going for your heart, what you truly wish for. And this lizard tells me that they're someone that can jump from light to dark, or from dark to light. So they're able to go from their conscious to their subconscious. They're able to, it's an energy that is also very good at maintaining stability. And this lizard is reminding me of how most reptiles have to like sunbathe, or have to stay under the sunlight to warm up, because they're cold-blooded, so they can't warm themselves up like we do. So that kind of tells me that this is an individual that likes to just stay in silence to enjoy the environment, or are the type of individuals that just go with the flow of time and the flow of emotions and just the flow of their environment. So if things are great, they'll stay in that environment. If things are going kind of rough, as we see with this frog, they'll still stay in that energy. So it seems like this is kind of like, I'm thinking of a tree. It doesn't matter how the environment is like, it will stay still. It will not move, and it will stand strong with its own self. And it will just endure thick and thin to survive. And I feel like this is the true essence, or the true self of this energy, of the eight's other half, which I feel in a way is very similar to him, because they're both healing. That's the first similar thing that they have. And I feel that similar to the 8, who is someone who just chases after his dreams and goes for what he desires, I feel that this individual, his other half, is doing the same thing. Okay. So with that, we will go to the other question that I have, which is, will there be union between the 8 and his half? We have 2 of Pentacles. We have the Hangman reversed. And our next card is a yes or no. Ow. And the Wheel of Fortune upright. So it seems like there will be union between the 8 and his other half. So if that's the case, I almost had like a choose your own adventure, right? So if we got yes with this question, then it will be, I will interpret the cards and I will be answering my next question, which is, well, if we got a yes, then what is the purpose of them being together? So we have the 2 of Pentacles, the Hangman reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune. So it feels like it is, first of all, destined for the 8 to kind of come to union with his other half. And I'm seeing this beautiful pink flower right here. I don't know if you can see it. Is it in focus? You see this beautiful pink flower and this wheel, and then I see like all of these fairies like looking into that direction. So it kind of feels like there's this sense of, it is of course it's destiny because it's the Wheel of Fortune, but it feels like he is guided. Could be angels, could be his internal voice, could be his higher self, could be spirit guides. So whatever is guiding him is helping him in finding himself. And that kind of explains why my eye was a thing. Many of the things that we listen to, watch, or do or learn are usually signs of importance. So if, for example, D8 watches a movie and it talks about people coming together and its destiny and everything, he was guided to see that. And if he understands the message or not, it doesn't really matter. It is still a stepping stone to his journey. And seeing that will help him understand better where he's going. So everything we experience in the past and whatever we internalize and understand in our present is helping us shape our future. So with him, I wouldn't be surprised if the art that he consumes, the art that he does himself, and the knowledge he has gathered for his work is all contributing and it's being guided to help him come into union with himself, technically, or with his other half, right? So it's still, we have to keep in mind that with twin flames, his soul has split. So it's kind of like we have D8 and his clone, but not, okay, well, it's not really clone because they will have gone through their own experiences, making them different. So I guess, I'm not too sure what you would call that, right? Like, there's two versions of D8, basically. We can say that. So with this Wheel of Fortune, it feels like, of course, it's destined for him to come in contact with himself again, but it feels like they will come into union in this lifetime or soon. Because when I was asking, will they come into union, I meant in this lifetime. I didn't really mean if they will or not, because the whole point is that they will, right? So I'm not concerned in other lifetimes right now because I'm living on this one, and that's kind of the one that matters to me currently. So with that, I wouldn't be surprised if, of course, it is destined for him to meet with himself because they want to create the sense of balance. And I say that because we have the Two of Pentacles. And to me, it kind of feels like it's supposed to mean that there has to be balance between these two physical energies, or with physical experiences. And I say physical because it's Pentacles energy, so it could also be balancing, because to me the Two of Pentacles has always been very close to Temperance. So to me it kind of feels like it could be balancing his spiritual side and his physical side, so his 3D reality with his 5D reality. So it kind of feels like he is of those people that are slowly getting in tune with that higher knowledge, and is bringing it to earth by connecting with his other half. And I feel that this Hangman reverse, it could be that he is going through this transformation of going through past experiences or past maybe even past lives, and trying to heal all of that with this Ten of Swords. And that could be one of the things that could be kind of difficult for the 8 right now, because we have the Hangman reverse. So that kind of tells me that he may be getting a little bit too stuck with his own values, his own way of thinking, and this connection could be one of the things that is kind of helping him come to the realization of who he truly is. Because it's weird, because I was with this Hangman, I was thinking more like, oh, he's probably trying to deconstruct his way of thinking to create a new one, right? Because a Hangman to me symbolizes someone that is struggling to see new perspectives. But with him, it kind of feels like it's more of like he's trying to find who he truly is again, who he is. Trying to understand where he came from and where he wants to go from there as well. He seems like the type that the purpose of his connection is to find who he is again. The purpose of coming together is to be fulfilled again. Which, okay, I'm not surprised, that's technically the whole point of twin flames. But I was wondering if his connection could be something that could also be, I'm not, it's all those things that I was going to say something, but then I'm thinking and I'm like, well, that's not really what I mean, right? It feels like there's some twin flame connections that kind of happen to give lessons and information to Earth, right, to people. But I feel that with the 8 this is for himself, and what he learns for himself will just help other people. But he didn't really come to help others, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the knowledge that he carries for himself will help other people, but he doesn't have to like handhold others to help them through their journey. He just has to do his own thing, go through his own journey, learn his own lessons, and that's good enough to help Earth, if that makes sense. Because to me, Twin Flames has been a whole thing of helping Earth, not necessarily, but I wouldn't be surprised if some souls do it to help themselves as well. And it seems like D8 is one of those people, or one of those souls that is trying to help themselves. And they're just using Earth as a channel to do that. The last card that I want to take out is, what messages does his partner have for him? Any messages from D8's twin flame? I want one card, so whatever message you have, make it count. Okay. So the message that D8's partner has for him is White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic, and we have 66. So that adds up to 3, right? So it's 12, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So this adds up to a 3. So I feel like it is also mirroring in a way because we have 2 sixes. Anyway, so it kind of feels that it's like I find my balance, you find your balance. You find healing of give and take, and I do the same thing. So it kind of feels like they're both very mirrored. They're both helping each other a lot by just going through very, very similar experiences. And with this White Raven, it kind of feels like they're both healing and trying to, I was listening, I kind of heard polishing themselves. So I guess trying to become better versions of themselves by coming to terms with to who they are, who they truly are. What is the other thing that I'm getting? I'm kind of getting with the trust in the magic is kind of like, let me put this other card down. It's kind of like offering knowledge, being content and happy with just what you have. There you go. So I was thinking of offering, because if you see this branch, it has this like red dots, which to me could be like little fruits or something, and it kind of feels like, I just heard like cherry on top, you know, when you have like cake and you put the cherry on top and it's supposed to mean like the finishing touches. It kind of also feels like one of the messages that the Eight's twin flame has for him is, you know, enjoy the little things in life, which it's another card. It's not a message from another card in this deck, but it also feels like it's this whole idea of trust in the gifts life has for you, trust in the lessons life has for you. It's all magic. So I wouldn't be surprised if the 8 is going to go through a lot of experiences where he's going to meet the right people at the right time, or out of nowhere things just start working out when things before were not making sense, or they weren't working out as he would have wished, or all of a sudden he's gonna find people that understand him and get him from a very, very deep level, because that's part of his journey of just finding magic and finding this, how the wheel of fortune works for him. So a lot of good things coming his way, and since there are sixes, I'm thinking of the Six of Pentacles over and over again for some reason, and that tells me that he's gonna be very fortunate, and I think his twin flame wants to remind him of all the good things he's going to get in life. It also makes me think of the Six of Swords, which is the whole thing of trying to heal yourself by leaving any turmoil and any trouble and trying to move towards something peaceful and calming and relaxing. And I'm also getting the Six of Swords, which I just said, the Six of Wands, which is being victorious and happy in life. I'm talking about tarot cards, by the way. And the other card that I'm thinking of is the Six of Cups, which I wanted to mention second, but it came last, which is bringing back connections. So it could be people from past lives, people from his past in this life. So it could be childhood friends, family, as much as it could be people he met in past lives. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of things coming from his past, which I kind of got that from the Ten of Swords. There's also this whole thing of the Seven of Pentacles is like he may have to wait for just things to happen at the right time. So not necessarily so it's all those things, like it doesn't really matter how hard the 8 works sometimes. If Destiny has not his gift ready, then it's not ready. He just has to wait. But I don't think he's too worried about that, because it feels like his partner reflects a part of the 8 that is that idea that they can both just stand still in their own environment and let things happen. That doesn't mean they're lazy. It doesn't mean they don't work on themselves. It just means that they understand that sometimes things are out of their control and out of their power. And that is a divine gift. I should probably learn from that. And this Queen of Pentacles, again, kind of shows that they're both currently learning to nurture themselves. And this trust in the magic feels this whole idea of just life has a lot of beautiful things to offer. Ground yourself, heal yourself, and accept those gifts. And I think that is very beautiful. So with that, I will go on to our next individual. A quick semi-summary of what happened with Woozi based on the cards that I have right now. I recorded this like many days after the fact that I recorded the Twin Flame one, which is a video that you have seen. So I have to kind of like remember what was going on. I should have just watched my video, honestly, instead of just looking at the cards and be like, I'll remember, right? I'll remember. Oh, right! I just remember for sure. The whole thing of like, oh, Woozi's gonna get the rewards of his labor. You know, he's been working very hard in his mission and doing his own thing. And because of that, life wants to reward him with love. Why is the moon reversed? What did I say for that one? I do not remember. But yeah, your hard work is paying off. Kind of tells me that in this lifetime, life is like, we want to give you someone special for your life. Or we want to give you lots of gifts. And with that Ace of Cups, it's like potentially could be a partner. New romantic love could be what he's working on. Or what life wants to offer him. And the world tells me that there's a lot of things that are destined to come through. And true. And that moon reverse tells me that clarity is going to come very soon, or everything's going to be kind of like no one even knows what's up. Things are just happening. But with that, we're going to go a little bit more in depth this time, and we're going to ask, what is the current energy of Woozi's Twin Flame? What is their current energy? So we have a crocodile. And now let's take out another card to see what is their true selves like. We got 3 cards. I just wanted 1, but everyone's rebelling against me. Okay, so we have panther, fish, and cheetah. Okay, so it seems like with Woozi, the current energy that his Twin Flame has is patience. This person is waiting to go for their prey. This crocodile is just chilling in the water. This confidence in their heart space is very close to them, so they are just waiting to walk in with all the confidence in the world and go for what they desire. So I feel that right now Woozi is getting someone that is waiting for something. His Twin Flame is someone that is patiently getting ready to take action or go for what they're wishing for, or what they have always been aiming for. I'm getting that right now there's this sense of uneasiness. We're waiting for things to happen because of how much darkness is around the crocodile, or they are in the dark about how things are going, which could be the reason why it's right next to the moon, right? This whole thing of like Woozi's partner could be kind of like, I'm waiting for something to happen, I'm ready to take action, I know what I want, it's just not really time yet. The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that right now, yes, the main thing, they're currently in the energy of being patient and waiting for the right time to take action. I wonder what that action is. But yeah, they're emotionally, they're calm though, because the waters are calm right here. Well, calm-ish. But the true self, the true energy of Woozi's partner, we have the Panther, which is a fire card, and they're green, so that's really who they are. That next card that we have is the fish, which is water, and then another fire card, which is the cheetah. So this person has a lot of water and fire, so they may be very impulsive, or they will go through the wave of their emotions. So if at some point they're like, oh, I'm going for what I dream of, they're taking action based on how they feel or based on their emotions. And if that's the case, it makes sense why they have the crocodile right now. It's like that energy of someone that is just waiting for the right time, because it doesn't feel right yet. That explains, like, the crocodiles in the water, which are emotions. So it's kind of like feeling the flow, the waves, and it's like, it's not right. You have to wait a little bit. I'm not in the emotional state to take action, or I can feel in my gut that it's not time yet. So with this panther and this cheetah, it tells me that this part, so Woozi's twin flame, is definitely the feminine side of himself, because we have two felines, which usually represent the feminine energy, and it feels like this is someone, just because they have the feminine energy does not mean that they do not take action, and it does not mean that they're gonna wait for someone to take the first step. Because this panther tells me that this is an individual that when they desire something and they love it a lot and they really want it, they'll go for it. This is someone that's not afraid to chase it. This is someone that is not afraid to taking that first step. This is someone that is not afraid of taking that leap of faith and just trusting that life has their back. This is someone that radiates their own light. That's what I'm getting right now. They radiate their own light, because here we have the panther in the dark, and then the cheetah with their own movement and just going through their own cycles of what they desire. They're making the card light up, and these are two fire cards. So this tells me that this is someone that action wise, they just go for it. They don't wait, they just take action. It feels like it is someone that is very fierce, but when they just go for what they love, they're gonna be very cute. I feel that this is the energy of someone that when they're focusing on what they want to get, a lot of people will just look at them and be like, wow, it's impressive. How can they do that? They're so fierce and aggressive, and it could be a little bit scary for outsiders, but it's still attractive or interesting to look at. It's like, wow, look at this person. They have all the drive, they have all the energy, they have all the motivation and passion to make their dreams come true. And here we also have the fish. So their true self is also someone that still emotionally, or with water, they take their time. They have their emotions very rooted and very grounded, because we have a red moon. And it is also someone that even if they don't know where they're going, since they know what their goal is, they know where their point B is. And when I mean point B, I mean, like, you know, when you go from point A to point B, that's point B. It feels like this is someone that can definitely see where they're headed and what they're aiming for, and this person doesn't really mind the journey to get to what they're wishing for, because it kind of feels like, if you see, except for the cheetah, there's darkness in all of these cards. So this is someone that just kind of goes with the flow of their emotions, so they don't necessarily need a practical reason or some sort of 3D acceptable logic to do things. They just do them, and that's why the cheetah has a bunch of colors. This is someone that is definitely very grounded. I'm also getting that this could be, in a sense, very similar to Woozi. They're both so concentrated in just working, because it feels like this is also the person that they have a certain goal in mind. They go for it, kind of like, you know, how they say the Taurus has tunnel vision, because they're so stubborn in making their dreams come true or their goals, so they just go for it. They just charge forward and get it done. But I feel like this is also someone that enjoys the feelings that people get when they're going through their journey to achieve their dreams, but their eyes are always on the goal or on the prize. So it kind of feels that it's similar to Woozi, in the sense that he is a very hardworking person. He is someone that, similar to his twin flame, who works very hard in that journey process. Even if they don't know how to make things happen or how to go from point A to point B, when they still always have their eyes concentrated on that goal, on that prize. And to me, it feels like Woozi is very similar in that hardworking area. He may not really know how things are going to go, or if it will, or how things are going to end up. But I feel that Woozi has this undeniable trust that whatever he feels is the right thing. So whatever he does will succeed because he just follows his heart and what he desires. So if there's, in this case, if music is what he's passionate about, he went through with it and he is succeeding according to society's normal terms of success. But he seems to also be succeeding on his own terms of success because he feels like it's someone, I mean, he has said it, right? That he is someone that doesn't see music making as a job or as work, because to him it's what he loves, so it's more of like a hobby. So, you know, he's in his element basically. So I do feel that he was able to get there so quickly and at such a young age because he is very hardworking and he seems to not ignore his heart. So if he decided that, he just goes for it. There's no need to push it back and be like, oh, but what if I don't succeed? He just goes for it, and that's why he succeeds. But with that, I'm going to take out 3 cards to see if... What's I going to say? Will there be union in this lifetime between Woozi and his twin flame? Will there be union in this lifetime? So the answer is no. Oh. Okay, so let's set this up like this. So the answer is no. There will not be union in this lifetime for Woozi and his twin flame. However, the next question that I have as to how I will interpret these cards is, if no, what are they working on if they're not going to be together in this one, right? So we have the 10 of Swords. Seems like there's... And we have the 7 of Wands reversed. And the Empress reversed. That kind of tells me that there's still self-image issues that they have to work through. This Empress card... Oh my god. This Empress card kind of tells me that they're still trying to reach this point of enlightenment, and there's still a lot of transformations with those butterflies to gain this thing of self-confidence or desires, right? Following what you're passionate about and following what you like and what you desire and your drive, kind of working with that. And some of you may be thinking to yourself, okay, but Woozi is working on making his passions true, right? He's working on his career in a way that works for him because it's what he likes to do, his hobby, what he enjoys. And all I have to say is that yes, he is doing that. But I don't know if you guys remember that in his individual reading, there was this high emphasis that he doesn't really see himself or believe the power that he carries with him. And that is part of the journey. One of the reasons why they can't come into union is that there's still things that Woozi has to work on. Because of course we don't know like what this person's going through. But it feels like one of the things that he's working on is in... accepting and understanding the power that he has within himself. That kind of counts like self-love. And I feel that since life wants to give him like romance and love, and it could be romantic love as much as it could just be love in other areas of his life, there is a chance that he may be rejecting those because he may be so focused on one thing, one aspect, which is right now his career and music making. But there could be a chance that life is also like, you need to love yourself and accept yourself for who you are and what you do. This doesn't necessarily mean that he has like self-esteem issues, as much as it could mean that he just doesn't believe how powerful he can be and the role that he plays in his own life, if that makes sense. Like he's grounded in the sense that he knows that he's an individual, he's normal, he's not better than anybody else as a human standard, but then he may forget that he is still powerful within his own life, if that kind of makes sense. But we also have this 10 of Swords, so the ideas and thoughts that they may have within themselves and for each other could be one of the reasons as to why they're like held back a little bit. So I do feel that Woozi's partner is alive, and by alive I mean like in the 3D physical type of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're both still working through things that they're afraid of with that Seven of Wands. It feels like both of them do not like to look at what they're afraid of, and that could be one of the reasons why we have the Moon reversed. There's many things that they could fear, that they don't want to look at, even if it's staring them right on the face, or even if it's overwhelmingly on them, because we have the Ten of Swords. So I have a feeling that communication could be a little bit weak within themselves, and if that's the case, it could make the connection with each other a little bit more difficult. I also kind of wanted to kind of highlight or mention that the true self of Woozi's partner is very similar to the Ace of Cups, in the sense that there's like two cats looking in one direction, and that direction is away from Woozi. So it kind of tells me that there is a chance that his partner is constantly running away from him, or it could be that his twin flame is not really cooperating with what life or what the world wants to give him. So if the world is like, you know what, you guys should come together, because, you know, you're meant to come together, there's a chance that they're not really cooperating to make it happen. I feel that there's still they're not in their own energy. There's a lot of thoughts that are holding them back or keeping them very stressed to the point of almost destroying them. So and there's a lot of fears they're not going through, and a lot of things they don't understand. So if they don't really understand the importance of their connection and all of that, it could be as to the reason as to why they're not coming to union in this lifetime. There's still things that they have to heal in the sense of their connection. Actually, I don't really think, I mean, yeah, also within themselves, but that's more about their own confidence. I don't feel there's necessarily much baggage with their external environment. I feel this is all from the inside out, and I feel there's this fears of, maybe there might be with Woozi, I think there's the fear of abusing his power that he is afraid of, and I'm not saying that because he's most likely to do that, as much as it could be one of the reasons as to why he doesn't accept the importance he has, or the skills that he has and the power that he has, right? Some people could see that as him being humble. Some people could see that as him being very rooted with life, and how you know, like, fame didn't go to his head type of thing. But it could also mean because he doesn't value himself like he should, and his partner could be could be one of those individuals that is not ready for the connection either, so they're kind of looking away. Or it could also mean that his partner, so his twin flame, is focusing on some other thing right now, and that's why that the looks of the crocodile, the cheetah, and the fish are all kind of like looking away from him, while he may be looking at his partner like, oh, that's what I want, and because of that I don't really desire other type of relationships that don't really involve my other half. And if that's the case, it could make it kind of difficult for him to learn lessons through that area of his life. So through other partnerships, in relation to romance, of course. If in case this connection is romantic, which I feel it could be, because romance is in the air the whole time that I'm reading this. But now I'm just going to go on to the next question, which is, what message does his other half have for him? We're going to take out one spirit animal card. Let's see, Woozi's twin flame, what message do you have for him? Okay, I want one card. Let's make it count. So we have cow spirit. The miracles are endless. So I think that with the message that Woozi's twin flame has for him is, you don't have to work so hard to make your dreams come true. Sometimes all you have to do is tell life, yes, I accept your gift. And I feel that's the miracle, right? And if you see there's a 15, so if you add it up, that's actually 6. So it's this whole in 6, again, is fortune. So I do feel that life has a bunch of gifts that they want to give to Woozi, but he doesn't accept them. And because of that, he just works hard to make his dreams come true. But, you know, he could still get a lot more if he just said yes, right? If he accepts the gifts that life wants to give him. And I do feel that it could be in the sense of like material things, as in it could be objects, it could be relationships, individuals, environments or circumstances or situations, right? Those are like the gifts that life can bring him. Let him be in a situation that he's content with, or let him get the gifts that he desires, as in like talents, skills, knowledge, or experiences, right? I mean, the gifts that life can give you can be in the 3D type of sense that go outside of our limited idea of gifts. So not chocolates and flowers, but it could be abundance in other areas, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain it. And with all of these flowers, I'm getting that one of the miracles that life wants to give him is to allow him to blossom as an individual, of course, but also with his projects. Like, his projects will bear fruit very quickly if he so desires. And by if he so desires is if he works with life, which explains why he's very successful as a music composer and producer. But if that's the only thing he's focusing on, he may not realize that he can have make his whole garden of paradise, right? And make it beautiful and make it everything he wishes. But he can't make that happen if he doesn't believe in the fact that he can make it happen. And sometimes the way that he has to make it happen is by just allowing life to do its own thing, go through its own flow, through its own course. And with that, he can work hard, but not work in the earthy way that we think of when we think of work. It could be working in your emotions, working with your way of thinking, and working with your way of believing in things, if that makes sense. So with all of that, I will go on to our next and last individual for this video and leave Woozi on this one. So let's go on to the next person. I think the bar has been open for a while now, and though I don't know what song they were playing, but I can kind of hear something, and I randomly thought of that song that kind of goes like Sweet Dreams or A Beautiful Nightmare. I don't know who sings it or what the song is about, but I don't know, I thought it was kind of important that it kind of came up when I was preparing for Dino's reading, so I just kind of wanted to mention that. It could be important. So anyway, so let's kind of do like a recap or a summary of what his twin flame connection was all about. We have look at the bigger picture, full moon Sagittarius, and be bold and make the first move. So one of the things that I was kind of getting with Dino when I finished his reading was that it kind of feels like Dino is one of the people that is actively looking for his twin flame. He doesn't have to be completely conscious of it, but he is looking for that other half, right? Some of us could be looking for our other half, and it doesn't have to be twin flame, while other people could be looking for that other half, and they're so attracted to that idea because it is definitely relevant to a part of themselves that they don't know about yet. So I was going through that, meaning that Dino could be looking for his twin flame without even realizing that he's doing that, because he may not have the knowledge or the words that we have for it, or he may have, well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, like he may have a different idea, different words for this, and we could all be talking about the same thing. Anyway, we had got like a hard yes because all of the 3 cards were upright. We had Temperance, Page of Swords, and 3 of Cups. So it seems like there's this sense of celebration, getting those messages, and I kind of remember that with Dino's, I was like, I want to say more, and I just couldn't go too much in depth with it. I think it could be because it was literally the last one out of all 18 of them, and by then I had been recording for like 3 hours, not consecutively because I was eating in between. One was a snack and then it was actual dinner, so I took breaks in between, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't tired by the end of it. You know, it also takes energy to digest food. And of course, to channel messages and read cards and record and all of that. But it feel like with him, there's this sense of balance and connecting to his spiritual side. Also, this sense of like working with other people or connecting with other people. I mentioned like there's this crow or this black bird, which tells me that there's still some spiritual journeys that he may have to go through, some shadow work. And by shadow work is looking at the things that he may not really like about himself and heal those things, or work with them, or get rid of them, or whatever works for him. There's blue and purple, so that kind of told me of the whole thing of he has to connect a little bit more with his 3D. There's fire in the heart, so maybe understand randomly what I'm getting. Randomly, I got that he needs to understand what his heart truly desires and what he's truly passionate about. And by that, it doesn't necessarily have to do specifically to his career. It could also be with other areas of his life, like relationships, like love, friendship, family, as much as it could also be skills or life goals that he may have already. And what is the other thing? Messages we're going through, divine guidance with that temperance. So yeah, that's kind of like what I remember from the summary, and if not, new things that I got as I'm looking at the cards with fresh new eyes. Seems like he, with the B-Bolt being the first move, there's a chance that he's being prepared to start going towards something, or in this lifetime he is focusing on bigger goals in mind rather than little details or things of spurs of the moment. He's working on bigger things with this, connecting to that higher knowledge, because we have Sagittarius with Temperance and then Sagittarius with this full moon. So it seems like that's kind of like what he's working on right now. With this make the first move, I got the whole thing that he could be going towards his twin flame, as much as he could just be that Dino has to think less and do more. But with all of that aside, let's go on to our in-depth reading for him. So we have, I want to take out one card to see what is the current energy of his twin flame. I almost say soulmate. So that kind of tells me that Dino and his twin flame could have met in past lives already. So they may have recognized their energy in the physical sense. So we have the rabbit. So currently, his twin flame is in the rabbit energy. So let's take out one more card to see what is their true self or their true energy. Let's see. Flame. How is your energy? A card that was about to flip is the hyena. Finally, someone that follows my advice. I just wanted one card and one card. But with the previous two individuals, Woozi and DA, we just got more than what I wanted. So that's fine, it happens. So currently, Dino's twin flame is in the rabbit position. They're grounded, or they're trying to be grounded in the physical world. One of the things that I'm getting is that this rabbit could have a lot of nervous energy because they're always alert. So one of the things that I'm getting with this purple right here is that, and being right next to Temperance, I feel that usually with twin flames, they balance each other. So whatever Dino is lacking, his twin flame will have more of it, because that's how they balance themselves, right? And the fact that it's next to Temperance, oh, I'm sorry, I just hit the card. So the fact that it's next to Temperance and we have this alert mentality with the rabbit, and there's this purple, I have a feeling that Dino may lack the ability to connect with his spiritual side, or he may not pay much attention to it, but his twin flame partner is very in tune with that side, to the point that I have a feeling that his twin flame struggles to be in the physical world, or their frequency is so high and so in tune with their third eye and their crown chakra that they may have a lot of fear and a lot of this nervous energy to be in the physical world. So I'm getting this sense of, I want to protect this person. I want to take care of this person. Or I have I don't know if that's Dino's energy, or I don't know if it's my energy that is kind of like, oh, I want to protect this person. They're probably going through it. It's probably very rough for them to be, especially on Earth in these conditions, that everyone is trying to raise those vibrations, and then there's a lot of people that are doing their own cleaning. So collectively, the energy of Earth is kind of like trash right now. And by trash, I mean that everyone's purging everything, so it's kind of tough. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's also my energy that is like, oh, I have to protect this person. I have to take care of them. Because it also feels that it is an individual that is very cute and fluffy, as we have a rabbit. But there's this thing that this person has very strong desires to accomplish their mission or to balance themselves, because the bunny is looking at that temperance. So it kind of feels like currently is the energy of someone that is having a pretty rough time with how Earth is right now. They're going through very difficult times because they're very intuitively awake. So they're very connected to that area of themselves and that aspect of themselves, but they have very strong passion and desires to go through with their mission and go through with their purpose. And even though it also feels like they're currently very vulnerable, they're trying to see things in a positive way, but I have a feeling that currently Dino's swim flame is like pushing away negativity. As you can see, there's darkness in the corner, so it's kind of like pushing away negativity or doing their best to clean themselves. But if you see the purplish color is a little bit muted, so it kind of feels like it's like they're very connected, but it's getting tainted by all of these difficulties and all of this darkness and all of these hard times. So I wouldn't be surprised with this sense of nervousness, and they're very good at listening to their spirit guides and their higher selves and any and even maybe to Dino's subconscious. Like, they may be very good at connecting to all of that. So I do have to say that whatever Dino is thinking of or feeling, he kind of should be careful, because his twin flame is definitely going to feel it and definitely will know about it. And I'm not too sure to what extent this person knows about the connection, because if they do know enough about it, even if they don't know who Dino is or of his existence, this person will definitely could be able to feel that some of the emotions that they have and some of the thoughts that they have is not coming from them. And they may be confusing Dino's connection with them as a higher self or as a spirit guide or as an angel, rather than an actual connection they could have with each other in the physical world, if that makes sense. We sometimes could be connected spiritually to some people without even realizing that they're in the 3D and in the same time and space as us. But with that, let's see what energy does Dino's counterpart have. What are the true colors, I guess we could say. And we have the hyena. So this tells me that I'm getting this sense of power and this elegance coming from this hyena. It's someone that it's the energy of someone that people should be not aware of as in like should notice it, but aware of in a sense of cautious. Because I feel that with this fire, it is the energy of someone or a sense of someone that is ready to pounce when they have to. So this is someone that you don't want to get in a fight with, because they'll go full force on it. This is someone that runs very quickly. I kind of randomly got, so it could be that it is someone that likes to go through life very quickly, because we have fire as well. It also feels like it is someone that sees everything very black and white, so there's no in between. So either they go for something or they don't go for something. Their connections or their skills are turned on or off. So if they need a skill to tap into their subconscious, they'll turn that switch on and connect, or if not, they'll turn it off. And I feel like that could be one of the reasons as to why they're currently going through a difficult time. So if this individual has not really learned that ability to turn things on and off, then this person could struggle a lot with the current energy that Earth has collectively. But if they're very good at that, even if they want to turn it off, they'll feel it because of how strong those changes are going. And with the changes that some people are going through, it's kind of forcing other people that maybe are not ready for it, or there's work that has to be done, but they're trying to avoid it. It's kind of like putting that work on everyone's faces, and whichever pace they have to go through. So if some people work a little bit faster than others, some people have to wait because things are not ready, or other people will have to go quicker, and all of that, right? So it's kind of forcing everyone anyway to face things that they don't want to face, or do things at a pacing that they're not used to. And that could be one of the reasons that even if they know how to turn on and off their intuition, and by turning it on and off, I mean like lower the volume or pay attention to it, basically. Like, it's never necessarily gone as much as it's like you listen to it or you don't listen to it, right? And it's like if you put it in the front or the back of your mind. And I feel that this individual, even if they put it right now like in silent mode, they'll hear everything very clearly, and it could be kind of painful for them because it's not necessarily good energy going through. So it seems like currently Dino's partner is kind of going through it. It's kind of difficult. It's not that easy, and they tend to have the energy of seeing everything very black and white. Someone that is very good at connecting to their subconscious and their conscious side. So what they deeply, truly feel versus what their ego tells them or what their ego feels. So they're also very good at dividing and what is that word? Counter. Well, that word that I just lost it, but it's basically that it's someone that is very good at dividing how they feel and be like, okay, I feel sad because of this area, I feel happy because of this. So when they're focusing on one situation, other things don't bleed into that as well. So they're very good at it's like the word is barely coming to my head and then it escapes me. I can't say it anyways. I find it very hard to say that word, but it's like it feels like this person is also kind of like their true colors is of someone that is very good at saying this is who I am and this is where everybody else is at, or they're very good at understanding who they are within a group and outside of a group, so they're not necessarily easily influenced with what people say or what people do, because, or at least soul wise, that's just how they are. So I wouldn't be surprised if this person will be okay either together or not, because they'll understand the situation. But with that, I'm going to go on to the next question, which is, will there be a union between Dino and his twin flame in this lifetime? Will there be a union between Dino and his partner in this lifetime? We just got yes. Ding, 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 ding. Woo! I don't know what Dino has. That is just, oh, I know what Dino has based on what we got for his partner. So usually with twin flames, people mirror each other because they come from the same source, or the same soul in this case. So it kind of feels like, since we have here the hyena that is kind of like seeing everything very black and white, like it either is or it isn't, or it's on one side or the other, I'm not surprised that with Dino our answers are definite yeses. We didn't get a no, but I wouldn't be surprised if it will be like a definite no. It's not like, because it's one of those things that if you have two cards upright, that's technically a yes, right? It's a yes. But if all of them are upright, it's a definite yes, you know? And that's kind of what it feels like. It's like an assertive, this is the answer and there's nothing else. But anyway, since we got a yes, we're going to look at these cards and interpret them as what is the purpose of their union, or like why is it necessary for them to come together. So we have the Ace of Cups, the Star, and the Queen of Swords. So we have two Aquarius energies. So one of the things that I'm kind of getting is that Dino's twin flame could be around his age. And they could both have I love this, right? Because in the 8th in-depth twin flame reading, I kind of got, some people could come into union to help Earth. And other people, which is what the 8 got, is kind of like they're doing it for themselves and that helps Earth anyways. So I feel that I was saying that because I was unconsciously aware. I mean, or I kind of knew that we were going to definitely get someone. That was the whole point of them coming together. This Ace of Cups tells me that there's this important message of, or their journeys in this lifetime is very important as to coming together and starting a new beginning together. That doesn't mean that there's no work that they have to do on their own. I think they do, but I wouldn't be surprised that someone is definitely aware of their situation and their connection, and then there's another person, in this case Dino, who is more, well, I mean, he's not gonna tell us about it, right? It's kind of crazy. Like, some people don't like to talk about their spiritual stuff because it's so crazy that you can only do that with someone that is kind of going through similar things or has seen their fair share of spiritual stuff, so you don't feel super crazy about it. So Dino's not gonna be like, okay guys, so I want to tell you about my spiritual connection with someone I have no clue who it is, right? He's not gonna talk about it. But it feels like with Dino, it's more of like he has the desires of wanting to be with someone in a certain situation and certain things, and he may not really make sense as to why that's the case. He just does. And I think that is the reason as to why in this lifetime we have the full moon in Sagittarius and the cardinal moon. It's kind of like it's important for him to take that first step and go to his soulmate, soul twin flame as well, because I keep saying soulmate, and I feel like I'm thinking of that, and I just mentioned that because I feel they have seen each other in past lives. And to me, soulmates is someone that you have met in a past life, and you have decided that you like each other's energy, so you will meet again. So you kind of make a promise, a vow, or a spiritual contract of sorts, if you want to put it that way, to meet again, to cross paths in the future. And I feel that with them, they could have met before, and they could have said, especially because of Dino's counterpart seems to be very black and white, they could have said, this is not the right time, we're not ready for it, let's continue working our own thing, and then we will meet on another lifetime where we are ready. And it seems like this lifetime is when they're both ready for it. And I do feel that with him, it makes more sense that seeing the bigger picture is like you have this desires of taking that first step, of moving forward, of taking action, but you don't understand the importance of it or the difficulties of it, or the spiritual side of it, because it seems like Dino is not necessarily connected to his spiritual side, but his partner definitely is. So they're kind of balancing each other because someone definitely knows and the other one doesn't. But the whole point is that they eventually kind of balance each other out to be on the same ground and the same level and be like, okay, I may not know everything, but I do understand a little bit more, and then go from there, right? And with this star card, I have a feeling that one of the goals that they have when they come together is to help other people see that dreams can become real and they can be true. I do feel that they have this very, very, very strong message about transformations, because we have butterflies and we have purple and blue. So I feel there's this sense of, and then the fishes are yellow, but the butterflies are also kind of yellow. So it makes me think that they have this message of kind of communicating through the spiritual world, or talking about spirituality, or waking up people's third eye, crown chakra, helping them wake up, helping them understand things better, and also this idea of communicating how to be confident, how to be your true self, how to be optimistic about life. And I feel that optimism is to help people realize that their dreams can come true. And I think that is very, very beautiful. But we have two Aquarius cards, the Star and the Queen of Swords. So that kind of tells me that there's a lot of feminine energy. So they're nurturing and helping people through a very healthy and very nice and very soothing energy to learn how to communicate with themselves and to each other, create those bonds and those connections with everyone and those relationships, trying to make them healthier and stronger, and start making connections that have a little bit more depth than people tend to have them with. I feel that they're trying to work together to help raise energies and vibrations to help people understand their intuitive messages, their emotional messages, and help other people understand themselves. And I feel the thing that I'm kind of glossing over and I'm not talking about a lot is that Aquarius energy that I'm feeling. I mean, Lino is an Aquarius, but it feels like they're doing their connection and them coming into union is for a humanitarian cause. And this humanitarian cause is this new age of allowing and helping people be more intuitively aware of how things are going, and where we're headed, basically. And it also feels like they're trying to kind of like, okay, it's gonna sound kind of creepy for some of you guys, but it's kind of like opening portals of knowledge. I feel knowledge and possibilities, because I do feel with this Aquarius, they're doing, when they come together, they're going to be so eccentric and doing so many innovative things that only people that are just understanding and aware of things will be able to understand where they're coming from or what they are doing. And other people's, or when they see what they do, it's going to help them wake up slowly, if that makes sense. So whoever's awake will definitely appreciate the work that they're doing, and whoever isn't awake is slowly waking up to that other side, to that other world, to that other reality, which I feel is very, very nice, very beautiful, and very important. It's something that is definitely needed now. I do feel that it's also very important to help people connect to their truth, or connect to what they really believe in, and to be able to definitely communicate that higher knowledge and connect to that. I feel that also with this Aquarius, they're going to work together in a lot of humanitarian causes. So helping, it could be helping people through material stuff, like donating money or but I also feel like it's like leaving behind a legacy of knowledge. Also a legacy of how to communicate and how to connect with things. And it also feels like you see the fishes in this Ace of Cups, and then we also see those fishes surrounding the star. So it's going to help a lot of people realize that there's no impossibles, and it's going to help a lot of people realize that their dreams can come true. They can wish for anything, and with time, effort, and I guess collaboration with yourself, with other people, and the world, you should be able to make them happen. And I feel that there's this sense of opening people up and waking them up. I also feel this sense of maybe using music to express how they feel, and doing that will help people wake up and get the message, basically. So could potentially be with someone that is a musician, or he could be, or his partner could be someone that is so tapped in that will heavily influenced his future projects in the music industry. I also feel that one of the things that I think Dino asked for was to get a partner where they could both grow together in life, and I think he will definitely have that, because they have to work on themselves to become the best, not the best, but the most decent version of themselves. So then when they come together, there's then a whole different mission, a whole different dynamic of how to make things even better. But together, right? Working together to transform the world that they're in. But I'm getting like this sense of this fishes kind of feel like this messengers, right? It feels like the temperance is meant to have balance and knowledge within the connection and within themselves and what situation they're in. This Page of Swords being above the star feels like communicating that other knowledge that people are not that aware of, and those messages that people may be scared to speak up about. And then this Three of Cups over the Queen of Swords, I'm getting this sense of course, transformation and change, to be happy, to be satisfied, to celebrate, to also allow people to learn to celebrate their accomplishments, and allow people to celebrate when their dreams come true, and be satisfied with that thing, right? With those things that happen. Be satisfied with that journey, with that growth, and a lot of nurturing. I do feel like there's a lot of feminine energy going through, and I feel that they're doing, it's because there's a lot of nurturing that they're doing, but it's gonna feel a little bit detached, I feel, because it's still air energy, but combined with water because of the Ace of Cups. So it's definitely a very, very beautiful connection. It's meaningful. I'm not going to say that it's easy, because the journey didn't necessarily start in this lifetime. It's just part of all the other things that they have done before. It's like when they meet on this one, there's still more work to do when they come together. But it does feel like they are one of the many twin flames that came here to help Earth with her mission. So, just putting that out there. But with that, I will end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We have finished 3 17 members, but there is still more people to go. So look forward to that one very soon. And I think this reading was very, very beautiful, very nice. We got some yeses, we got some nos, we got some interesting things, more, a little bit more of knowledge about their person, but also a little bit about them with, you know, that whole mirroring thing. But oh my god, I was about to end this and I forgot. We need one more card. I was so focused with this whole thing of their mission that I almost forgot. Is there a message that Dino's twin flame wants to give Dino? It always happens that I'm already like ending Dino stuff and then I'm like, wait a minute, we're not done. So we have the Scarab Beetle spirit magic works through you, but it's reversed. So there's a sense of protection. So I have a feeling that the message that Dino's partner has for him is this whole idea of believe the power that you have. Believe that even if you don't know how to get messages across, just do what you do best. Do what you're good at. Do what you love. And you will eventually find the right words, the right message, the right I guess the right way to go and make that thing happen. So it's kind of like, it feels like there's this sense of protection. So I think because it's reversed, so it's a protective message of you will be able to, through your passions, you will be able to figure out what you desire and what you're aiming for. With those things, you will be able, if you follow your heart and you're confident with that, you will be able to go through your journey, through your path. It feels as there's a sense of protection. So it could be that maybe Dino is losing hope in that things will get better, or he's losing hope that there's greater things in life. So I think this protective message is remember the magic that you have, remember the skills that you have, remember the power that you have, and with all of that, he will be able to embody the other half that his partner needs to make this star mission happen. So yeah, I can't believe I almost forget a card. But anyway, with that, I can finally say for real, cease now. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it fun and entertaining. I definitely found it very, very magical to do these in-depth readings, and of course the twin flame one. And I'm very, very grateful for all of the support you've been giving that video, and I bet you will do the same thing for this one. So thank you in advance. And yeah, look forward to the other people, as I mentioned earlier. They're the other half of 17 that also got a yes. So yeah, you may have known who those are based on how things are, but if not, you'll eventually see it anyway. So yeah, love and healing from my part to you, and see you on the next one. Bye.